So this is how my life always been. It seems that it's always like the same type of way, um, like full of excuses, full of, like how am I gonna do this and that whenever like I don't even have this or that or like, you know what I mean? It's all excuses. It's all excuses, and I was never meant to come back to this place where God delivered me from this town. I was never meant to come back here. And actually, even whenever I first moved in here, the Lord was like, "You're not going to stay here long." And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, whatever. And he kept trying to relocate me, trying to relocate me. And it's like these people, like, they're so. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. It's all me being pure stupid. And I always wonder, like, am I chasing after the world? Like, like simple life, abundant life. And now, okay, so I don't know if I got as close to Jesus in April 2022. And I hear a lot of other people's testimonies and stories and whatever about like the year 2022. It's kind of like God like gathered us all and God pushed us all on this journey. And then he does it in like big groups. And he uses us because I remember in the beginning I was like so on fire. I was like so on fire. I was like, I'll say and do whatever, for God, for Jesus, for salvation of the souls. And so this is what I struggle with. It's like, so in the beginning of my journey, I knew that there's coming a time, and God is so merciful for us, to us, that we don't even realize that we're gonna need 3 to 4, to 6 different streams of income just to make it. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to go that route and you don't want to work and make all that money and pay for your lifestyle and everything, no, lay down, lay down. And if you didn't want to work and pay for your lifestyle and level up and, learn things, learn skills, travel and meet people and get things going, then you were just gonna like fall into like the famine side of life and everything. But over here, this is what I struggle with, is like, I just want the basics, but the basics are unhealthy. Okay, so apartment, you can't have a garden when you have an apartment or a townhome. They don't let you mess with the yard and anything like that. And I see the videos where like people like go into the forest and like they try to start like their little camp and stuff, and that's all good and everything, but until they come and people will tell on you that you're trying to grow a garden in the woods or something, or camp out in the woods, and then they'll come and shut your stuff down. So that's kind of like, but like you have your own homestead, your own life, your own everything that you could dream of on this piece of land, and you won't have to need the grocery stores and everything like that. You won't have to eat the nasty processed food, heavy metals food, all of the colors and all of these things. You won't need to rely on these things. And like I said in the other video, is like, I'm not all the way conservative and I'm not all the way futuristic. I'm not. I believe that we could use AI to our advantage, but not so far to where it's like not even you. But then not being so conservative, like, oh, I'm just gonna go lay out in the weeds somewhere and just, whatever, raise my family or whatever. But so that's what I struggle with. But I feel like I'm not where I want to be yet. But I need to get my life somewhere where I can be achieving things, you know, being able to thrive. And that's what I would encourage like a lot of people to do is if it's not working in where you live, go to somewhere. And it's funny because these programs these programs, they have certain programs where you can stay there with your kids, put them in school, get a job, go to school, get in college, go to work and school, and your kids go to daycare, and they will transport you there. I know that sounds like, oh, like just a free ride or whatever, but I am the type of person that like I came from having nothing and nobody. You know what I mean? But then I sobered up. Like I cleaned my life up from the drug use, right? I didn't do the drugs. I wasn't prostituting. I wasn't doing all these things. I totally let it go. And so that's why whenever you come to these programs, they should be like that. You should do whatever you have to stay in there, and you should use that whole time wisely. And it's so hard, but you know what I mean? Like I appreciated the program and the other people that are rich and they just don't care whatever they think. They need to build buildings like this where they can house, feed, and provide transportation for mothers, men, and women. This place where I'm talking about, they had like a place where it's like single women, and they had another building for family with women with children, men with children, or family, mother, father with children. And then this other side was for men like in and out of prison or jail or legal problems. And I feel like the rich people need to create more of these, you know? And I'm like, I mean, you know, these are all solutions and whatever you want to call it, whatever, but nobody is listening, it seems like. And then like these small towns, like they don't want to revamp their town. They don't want to, because if they wanted to, they would have been, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like, you know, and it's, anyway, so we need more of these things to go up. And I would say, no matter how hard it is, because this is what I'm going through right now, but I already did it. I think that the thing that I'm getting afraid of is like, it's a bunch of underlying stuff that I'm not going to talk about. It's a bunch of personal stuff that I don't want to talk about because it's my own personal hardships and, you know, all of this stuff that's in there that's just, I don't know, something that, you know, whatever. Is it really real? Yes, it's real to me. But when you worship God, you know who God is. This is what you should do: is get a notebook and write down everything you're worried about, and talk to God about everything that you're worried about. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about that. I'm scared. Like, you know, I'm scared for this. I'm scared for that. This, that, this, that. And if you watch him, he will work it out for you. You know? And being a single mom with kids and no help, family, no help. No family, no baby dad, no husband, no family, nobody to help you financially. Then I would ask you to like go to the town where they have these places. And do what you have to do to stay there. The one that I went to, so I had to drop the UA, and like I said, I was already done with the drug addiction by the time I went in here, for like years done. And it was really weird because whenever I had a chance to go to this place before, like long time ago, but I guess it was good that I waited. Because, okay, so a long time ago when I was in a homeless shelter or a women's shelter, I had the opportunity to go to this sober living place that I'm talking about, the place. And the girl that was my caseworker at the shelter, she was like, don't go there if you're not gonna like plan to stay there for a long time. She's like, don't go there if you're not gonna plan to like, stay there. And I knew what she meant, but then I was like, well, why wouldn't I stay there? Like, does she know something? I always like try to read into what people are saying. So I was like, does she know something? And then not only that, but the enemy was like working on my brain. He was like telling me like, oh, like if you go over there, da da da, like this drama situation. And I'm like, okay, like it scared me. Like the devil won that time because I was like, okay, never mind. So I closed that out. But 2024 is whenever I went in there. And I would say that like, I don't know, I had to like be more mature. And you have to like, when you're on drugs and like when you're in a paranoid state, and I know certain people know what I'm talking about, but like when you're in a paranoid state and you have people like coming to you and they're trying to be like trying to comfort you and say like, I'm not against you, like whatever, and you're just like in these like pits with like these beliefs about whatever is going on, whatever it may be, and you're like lashing out or whatever, and they don't understand it. Like people make me cry. Like whenever I feel evil people coming to me and they're trying to like be weird and creep me out and stuff, I cry instantly. I cry. And maybe that's a weakness of mine or something, but if you creep me out and you scare me, and I will cry. I will cry. I will cry. I don't care. I will cry. But, and then, so I believe that I didn't go that first time because I wasn't ready. Then this time that I went, I was semi-ready or whatever. But then the factor with my son was a whole nother factor that was added onto the whole plate of mess, right? And so now that is kind of cleared out, we can go now again, and hopefully there will be no like turmoil, conflict. I'm not saying that because like I said, like God is not in an easy life. God is not in comfortability, laying in your bed, scrolling all day and just letting every day pass you by. I've been overeating for the past like 2 weeks, overeating, just stress, like not praying, not worried about nothing, like spiritually just, and it's just, I don't know how to come out of it, but I know that it's gonna come through disruption because that's how God is. And until you can embrace the uncomfortability, until you can get used to being uncomfortable, being afraid, crying it out, laughing through the pain like a crazy person. Yeah. I mean, I know it's cringy, but you have to do it. It's like, I like being cringy because I don't know, whatever. But yeah, so